I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Trevor Murdoch winning the NWA heavyweight championship as well. And Trevor is a guy that's been out there working for a long time, and I'm sure this is a proud moment for Trevor Murdoch, a guy that I know very, very well, to win the NWA heavyweight championship after retiring and coming back to the business and something like that happening for him. Big ups to Trevor Murdoch as well.
Was he there when you were there in WWE?
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Lance Cade, I think, came in together for a while. And what's weird is when I was a kid, Trevor Murdoch didn't look to me like a 2000s wrestler, right? He looked like a 1980s wrestler, like an early 80s.
Like Dick Murdoch.
Like Dick, you know what? Exactly like Dick Murdoch, like Dirty Dick Murdoch or someone along those.
Dickie Slater.
Yeah. Well. He even had like a Harley race kind of build to him in a way, right? Was he good in the ring? Did you get to work with him a lot?
No, Trevor was a solid worker, man. I mean, he was a guy that definitely could work in the main event if given that opportunity. It's just one of those things as far as what the wrestling business is looking for. Guys like Trevor Murdoch is never the guy at the top of the list as far as, what promoters are looking like until they get in the ring and that promoter say, wow, what do we got here? We can use this. So yeah, man, he's always been a top-notch worker, and I'm happy to see him get a little bit of shine, man, a little piece of the action, a little champagne wishes and the caviar dreams.
Yeah, he holds the NWA World Championship. It was their 73rd anniversary of the National Wrestling Alliance, and it's been in many forms over the years. But when you think NWA champion, the first name that comes to your mind is who?
Of course, Ric Flair. But what the first thing that comes to my mind is real wrestling. That's what comes to my mind when I think about the NWA, because those guys back then, man, it wasn't as big as it is, today, of course, but those guys in the NWA, they made it so real when you watched it. The matches with, just say, for instance, Wahoo and Ric Flair, where, man, these guys would chop each other so hard that they would bleed. It was no magic, tricks, smoke and mirrors, or anything, and making that happen. Those guys were actually going out there and bringing the noise, So for me, NWA is definitely something I remember. Willow Creek Apartments, laying on my sofa watching NWA many a day. That was actually with my brother and I, Stevie Ray. We had an apartment together over there at the Willow Creek. So yeah, man, definitely that's what I remember about that company.
And when I started at Reality Wrestling, I remember we had 2 championships that you had commissioned to pay respect, right? One of them was the road title was the big gold belt, the traditional big gold WCW title that you wore, and Sting and DP and Goldberg and Hogan. The other one was a playoff of the NWA world title. Why was that important for you to have that design for your vision of your company?
I don't know, man. Just because NWA was that staple, was that signature brand for so many years before the WWE, WWF, with the NWA. And if you was a young wrestler getting into the business back then, that's what you wanted to make it to, was the NWA. And here in this area, that's what we grew up on as well. We didn't get the WWF back then, So yeah, man, I think I was just paying homage to the game that pretty much, there again, set a standard in professional wrestling.
Billy Corgan, of course, from the Smashing Pumpkins, carrying along that NWA legacy. Do you like kind of what it's morphed into? Because NWA seems like, because Power brought the studio shows back, and it seems that NWA is trying just to be another place that people can go and work. Do you kind of like what it's morphed into over the last year or so?
Hey, man, I can't hate on those guys or anything like that. They're definitely giving guys a home to be able to go and perform, still be able to create their brand, be able to move up, work other places, go around the world. So definitely, I appreciate what the NWA is doing, as well as that studio style wrestling is something that, man, I love it. I love that studio style wrestling. It's very, very compact. It's in close quarters, but the fans really get their bang for their buck, and the television audience as well. When they watch it, they look at it from, you know, a short soap opera perspective. You know what I mean? So I like the studio. I'm thinking about stealing that format,
Oh, you know
and
what? We might
create a,
have to.
create a smaller show for my young up and coming guys and whatnot. So yeah, if I steal it, I'll tweak it. I make it a little something different.
You said it. At least you said that you're gonna do it. You know what I mean? I like somebody who's gonna steal it, and they're telling me they're gonna steal it. Right?
Hey,
Hey, I'm gonna take that from you. Okay,
guys, stick around.
you told me.
You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.